This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to just say it right now. I'm not losing hope. I'm still ready to fight. Series ain't over. Series ain't over. We still got games to go, so I'm not losing hope. I'm not talking about next season. I'm not talking about who we can get. I'm talking about the next game. Knicks lose tonight to the Pacers, 114-109. Down 0-2 in the series to the Indiana Pacers. The Knicks got to find something, though. They got to figure something out. And I'm not sure if we found anything that we can say, yeah, this is the ticket. Besides one lineup. There's a lineup out there that really does work for the Knicks against the Pacers. Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby. That lineup works. That lineup definitely works. We've got to see a lot more of that lineup. You know what I mean? I don't know how or what, how it happens. You know, does Tibbs start that lineup? Probably not. Not saying I'm opposed to it, but, you know, Tibbs is not, I don't know. You know, maybe.
It's too drastic.
Yeah, that might be too drastic. You know what I'm saying? This team can score the ball. It's tough to stop them. You can't make mistakes against them. Tonight, the Knicks make a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. I'm going to tell you what, if you're a Knicks fan, okay. If you're a Pacers fan and you're here and you say Pacers in 4, and they're saying Pacers in 4, I get it. They're a Pacers fan.
Okay.
If you're a Knicks fan and you're saying
But you was
Pacers
talking
in
to
4,
Knicks fans.
no, yeah, I'm talking to Knicks fans. If you're a Knicks fan and you're saying Pacers in 4, I'm kicking you out. I don't want you here. Take that garbage elsewhere. Like, come on, what we doing? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? What we doing? We down 0-2. We down 0-2. You know what I'm saying? And we got to figure out a way to battle. If you ain't going to believe in your team, then go someplace else. Go talk in another chat. Go talk on another channel. You know what I'm saying? Come in here with that bull. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in here with that bull. You know what I mean? Our job right now is to figure out something. Talk about what we figure out. Yeah, the Pacers are good. I'm like, you know, they can score the basketball.
I am humbled.
Rick Carlisle. Now, Rick Carlisle is coaching his ass off. He really is. He's coaching his ass off. Put that guy in timeout. You know what I mean? He's figuring out, you know, every matchup that he wants, every matchup that the Pacers want, they're getting. Right? Every single one.
Which makes not only do we not do that, but we had a hard time doing that throughout the year, doing that when somebody's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. We have to wait till somebody gets hot,
mm-hmm.
and then hope we kind of utilize that as much as often as possible.
Rick Carlisle is coaching. I mean, okay, so they do a switch to get Halliburton on Mitch. You know, maybe not really working. Okay, you know what? That's not working. Okay, let's do a switch so we can get Halliburton on Jalen Brunson, or Jalen Brunson on Halliburton. But you know what? We're not going to do it yet. We're going to wait until the fourth quarter to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then Halliburton proceeds to score 5-6 points over Jalen Brunson.
Well, he wasn't even having a good game, right?
What? Not really. In the first half, I guess. We're not going to do the hack of Mitch yet. But then in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes and 30-something seconds left, let's go to the hack of Mitch. So that they don't have a chance to score, so Brunson can't have the ball in his hands. Let's go to the hack of Mitch.
Is that
smart?
That's good. That's good coaching.
Very good.
But are you? Is Tibbs? Because I ain't gonna lie, it's always on my mind where are they at in the penalty? Because that's when that's when it should start strategically, right? Rather than putting yourself in a penalty. Even though when they got a couple of fouls in that fourth quarter, I felt like they was trying to get into the penalty, but they was just like, all right, let's be aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because it was a couple of fouls called. But again, is Tibbs supposed to take Mitch out as soon as they are in the bonus? Wait, or is he supposed to wait until they use it?
I think you wait until they use it. You know what I'm saying? You wait until they use it because they may not use it. I'm just saying, like, their timing and using it was perfect.
Great. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There were times throughout the game when Mitch was dominating and I thought they might go to it. Mm-hmm. They said, nah, we're not going to go to it yet because we trust in our offense. We trust in our ability to come back. We're going to use it when we really need it. You know what I'm saying? And at that point in time, when they decided to go to it, was perfect. Right?
Absolutely.
Because it was that point in time where you knew Brunson was going to try to take over. He's great at scoring in the fourth quarter in those clutch moments. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you know what? We're not going to let Brunson get the ball. We're not even going to allow them to get a three. We're going to put Mitch on the line. And if they take him out, that's even better because he's dominating the rebounds.
Yep.
He's kicking the ball out so they can get threes. Yep. And Karl Anthony Towns' ass is slow as shit. He can't. He Yo, I mean, like, the dude, he I don't know. He can't find his rotations right. You know what I'm saying? He's mad. And I know it's just how his body makeup is. He can't get out to close out half the time. He did a good job on Tyrese Halliburton in the first half when he switched off onto him. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? But, like, dudes is bodying him all over the floor. He tries to drive to the basket and he ends up shooting, one-handed floating fadeaways because he can't bang nobody out the way.
Without an offensive foul.
And that's pissing me off. I'm like, come on, man. You're 7 foot. You're bigger than Pascal Siakam, but Pascal Siakam is knocking you off your block and forcing you to throw up some dumbass shot. I don't get it. I don't understand. You're supposed to be bigger and stronger than the dude. You're physically bigger than him. And you can't push him off the block. You can't back him down. You got to get forced into some crazy floater from a mid-range floater. I mean, come on. It bothers me. It really does. It bothers me. It bothers me big time. You know what I'm saying? It bothers me big time. And yeah, Pascal was killing tonight. Nobody could guard him. Didn't matter who switched on to him or whatever. He was killing from the mid-range, getting to the basket, using his length. knocking
know
down
every
threes. He
time.
was doing what he wanted to.
I only saw the fourth quarter and then like pieces of the game, but I know anytime I seen Josh Hart on him, it was bad. It looked easy.
I mean, even from the beginning of the game, it was, I felt like the Knicks players had a little tension, not between each other, just like they were tight. You know what I'm saying? Although they did score, OG. You know what I'm saying? They scored the first basket, but just a few things just looked tight. But they managed to have a 3-point lead at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Third quarter. You know what I'm saying? This is when, things really, begin to unravel. But then they managed to get it back to being tied going into the fourth. And then in the fourth quarter, it definitely unraveled. You know what I'm saying? Tibbs had a lineup out there with Campaign, Deuce, freaking Karl Anthony Towns, Mitch, and maybe it was Josh Hart. I don't remember who else it was. I was like, what the hell is this? Who is this?
I know what I saw from Campaign. He was horrible.
He was terrible. First game he was okay. Tonight he was terrible. You know what I'm saying? He was terrible.
And we need to. It's messed up because you want to slow the pace with Indiana, but we don't get into our offense until the shot clock is.
Part of it is because they're playing that full court pressure the entire game. The entire game they're playing full court pressure, which means you're not just walking the ball up the floor, being able to see what's happening out there. You're battling against pressure, so you can't even see where anybody is because you've got to protect the ball all the way up the floor. You know what I'm saying? And then now you finally cross half court. And 7 seconds have already run off the shot clock. You know what I mean? Now you're down to like 14, 15, or I don't know, whatever, 18, 17 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To be able to play and get into something. And most of the times it ends up with Brunson, dribbling the ball at the top of the key or in the mid post somewhere looking for a shot. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say that's how we run our offense anyway. For the most part, if we're not getting stops and running, and running in transition, I think that's usually how it ends up being anyway. But it probably falls right into their hand if that's the case.
It plays right into their hands. It plays right into their hands because they're not a great defensive team. They're decent, right? But the more we stand still, it just makes their defense better. You know what I'm saying? Because now, they can rest. And they don't have to do a lot of movement. You know what I mean? And they're good at scoring in transition. You know what I'm saying? They're going to knock down the threes. They get an open three, they're going to knock it down. And they know how to run their lanes. Well coached. They're going to score in transition. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta take care of the ball and you gotta take good shots. Because if you don't take care of the ball, you turn it over, they're gonna score. If you take bad shots and you don't rebound the ball, and Mitch is the only one grabbing offensive rebounds for the team for the most part, right? They're off and running, and they're gonna score.
That's the other part. If you're trying to get the rebound, you're not protecting them from running in transition if you don't get it.
Right.
And I think that's why it's really been Mitch. Like Josh Hart has to protect, you know what I mean? Like I think they're making a conscious effort to try to protect that and relying on Mitch to hold it down, which he's been doing great at. But
he did a great job in the first half. He did a great job in the first half. In the second half, Rick Carlisle used the dude, what's his name?
The new dude.
Tony Bradley. He used Tony Bradley for a few minutes, which he did a pretty good job just using his body against Mitch. You know what I'm saying? He did it, but, offensively he's challenged. You know what I mean? And they're an offensive team, so there was only so many minutes he was going to get. But he did a decent job. He originally came in because Thomas Bryant and Miles Turner had 3 fouls.
That's part of that masterclass.
You know what I'm saying? And so he said, okay, let me use this guy. And then he noticed that he was doing a good job putting the body on Mitch, so he used him a little bit in the second half. But originally he had to play because those guys got into foul trouble. Thomas Bryant only played 4 minutes and 27 seconds tonight. Normally he plays more than that. Tony Bradley took some of those minutes. It's I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's tough.
You seen Tibbs' press conference?
No.
Postgame?
No.
It was shorter than Birdman's breakfast club interview.
Yo, and I see people. I see people complaining about the 7-man rotation and this and that. Right?
That's what they asked about.
Listen, you could play Precious, you could play Tyler, you could play Landry. To me, it doesn't make a difference in this game because I don't think they produce enough to keep the Knicks afloat against them. That's just my opinion. I just don't. Go ahead, put them out there on the floor, let them play. I mean, put them out there. OG played 35 minutes. Josh Hart played 28. Cat played 27. Bridges played 45. Brunson 38. Mitchell Robinson 29. McBride 25. Cameron Payne 9. These are less minutes than they've played in the regular season. Right? Because Deuce got a few more minutes.
The starters, you're saying?
The starters. Yeah. I mean, Mitch played more minutes. He played 29.
Yeah, Mitch played more. I think Deuce played a little bit more.
Yeah. But besides Mikal Bridges, those are less minutes. Besides Mikal Bridges and I guess Brunson, those are less minutes than they've been playing in the regular season. Listen, our bench, excuse my language, our bench fucking sucks. Shut up. Stop. I'm tired of it. Yo, we don't have a good bench. Every time we play a team, you act like we got the same players on our bench that they have. We don't. Every time. And if there's kids listening, I'm sorry, I apologize. But we don't have the same bench as them. If you want to talk about rotations, if you want to talk about the dumbass lineup that was out there with Campaign and Deuce and that, talk about that. But we don't have the same bench as them. So stop being dumb. We don't have the same bench.
I don't think Precious. I think there's a fair argument for Precious or a fair knock on him not playing for the simple fact of him being integral to what we did last year, right? And in a sense, proving himself. And then to be kind of left behind in a sense, and because to me, I agree with you about playing him now. To me, I feel like, again, this is my only knock on Tibbs. If you're gonna play him now, it's more pressure on him. You know what I mean? Like they haven't been playing all this time. You should have been nurturing somebody else, and whoever that may be. You know what I mean? But I think Precious has seniority. You know what I mean? So and he played against this team. You know what I mean? So that's even more of an argument for him. Anybody else, I think it's a no point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Precious changes anything about playing against this team. I don't think Huck Porty, Tyler Coley, Andrew Shammick, Dottier, whoever else you want to put out there. Dylan Wright. How
many minutes Cat played?
Cat played 27 minutes.
And Josh Hart 28?
Josh Hart 28.
and to your point, that might be the formula. Like, again, he ain't gonna start. He ain't gonna make a start. I think he might make a starting change. I don't know if he's changing 2 starters though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying, people saying that these guys need to play less minutes, right, so that they can stay fresher. I'm saying OG was averaging 37, 38 minutes in the regular season. He played 35. Josh Hart was, what was he, number 2 in the league? He played 28. Cat was up there 36, 37 minutes. He played 27. The only 2 that played their normal minutes was Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson because Deuce and Mitchell Robinson played more minutes.
But what I'm saying is that might be a direct. They might not have played those minutes because, to your point, the best lineup was those 2 not on the court.
Right. But what I'm saying is, with them playing those type of minutes, it's not that they're tired down the stretch. Right? With Cat playing 27 minutes, it's not that he's tired down the stretch. Josh Hart playing 28 minutes, it's not that he's tired down the stretch.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that that they're tired, it's that they're making mistakes. It's that Rick Carlisle is utilizing matchups and taking advantage of matchups. Okay, put Precious in the game. Is that going to stop Tyrese Halliburton finding Jalen Brunson off of a switch and going at him? No, it's not.
So is that it's messed up, man, because it's a dilemma with our 2 best players, you know what I mean, not being defensive players.
Right.
And then arguably our best lineups, because again, the argument in game 1 was you might not even should have brought Brunson back in the game because of how we were playing. It's a dilemma, man. We got to figure out how to take control of the game early and then keep control of the game.
Someone mentioned Thomas Bryant. He played 4 minutes. He did a lot. He played 4 minutes. Tony Bradley only played because of foul trouble. Does he play more in the series? We'll see. Let's not act like these guys played 20 minutes.
If they're going to utilize the Hakamich, I bet you he played more minutes.
Now, will Tom Thibodeau go to campaign again? I mean, I don't know.
50-50. He played good game 1. Not so much tonight.
B-Baller. He said, we need to give these guys rest. B-Baller, is 35 minutes a lot of minutes? I mean, Andrew Nembhard played 36. Tyrese Halliburton played 35 minutes. Is that a lot of minutes? Is 28 minutes a lot of minutes? Because if so, Tyrese Halliburton played 35. Andrew Nembhard played 36. Miles Turner played 32. Pascal Siakam played 32. Is 27 minutes a lot of minutes? If so, well, Aaron Naismith played 32. Pascal Siakam played 32. Miles Turner played 32. Tyrese Halliburton played 35. Nembhard played 36. 38 minutes for Jalen Brunson. 36 minutes for Andrew Nembhard. Almost 37. The only one that played an exorbitant amount of minutes is Mikal Bridges. So you say these guys are gassed because they're playing too many minutes. They played the same amount of minutes as their starting 5. These other guys you talk about played minutes, 10 minutes. Obi Toppin played 19 off the bench. Everyone else is 10 or less. I get it. They get in a couple little things here and there. You know what I'm saying? They're playing better than us. I don't give a damn if they played with 8. They're playing better than us. We can play with 12. They're playing better than us. This is what I'm telling you. We keep talking about the rotation, the players, the minutes. They're playing better than us. How about that? Instead of worrying about the amount of players who are playing, Rick Carlisle is coaching better than Tom Thibodeau, regardless of the number of players. The strategy on the floor is better. That. We keep talking about the number of players. We don't have a bench like that. I've been saying it all season long. It's not that good. It's not that good. Let's not make believe. Y'all like to make believe all the time. You know, let's put someone out there and make believe he's doing good. Let's make believe he's good. Let's make believe he can do this.
All right, so I didn't get to see the game, but break it down. What happened? Like I know you said they played better, but what was our turnovers? It wasn't 17 or
12,
15 again.
12,
was it?
12.
12. All right.
12.
That's better.
It's a lot of little things that add up, right?
Free throws was better tonight, right?
Yeah, they missed their free throws tonight, a lot of them.
They did.
They made them when it counted. But it's a lot of little things. We be on a run, and then they get an open backdoor cut. That's not because of rotations. That's because they understand how to make that backdoor cut, and we're ball watching. We'll be on a 5-0 run, ready to do whatever. Backdoor cut, wide open layup, easy. Right? Boom, we get a nice layup. Kevin Harlan says something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have heard it, Tony. I was like, yo, what's happening right now? Right? So it was a scramble. The Knicks get a layup. Right? Hold up. Let me find it. I want to find the exact words. I don't want to mess it up. Right? Scramble. The Knicks get a layup. Reggie Miller says, oh, good action right there. And Kevin Harlan says, I'm wet. I'm dirty. It's like, whoa. He said, I'm wet. I'm dirty. There's stuff all over the place. Like, okay. But anyway, but on that play, boom. It's a scramble. We get it. We get a wide open layup. But then guess what happens? They come right back down and score on a transition layup. Right? Little things like that. Little moments where we relax on defense and just not on point with every single rotation and they take advantage of it. Someone wide open in the corner for three. Right? Wide open in the corner for three. You know, like these little moments that don't allow us to string together stops to get enough points to score. You know what I'm saying? All those little moments. And the thing with them is they are in constant motion, in constant movement. You know what I mean? They have their moments where they get stalled and stuck. But what happens then? They find a loose ball. They grab an offensive rebound. They get a tip out. You know what I'm saying? And we had a lot of that in the first half. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks had a lot of those, you know, offensive rebounds and those things in the first half. But there's so many little things that lead to it. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have scoring droughts. We had scoring droughts through the game. You know what I mean? And they're not in a scoring drought. They hardly ever have a scoring drought. Every once in a while, but they rarely have a scoring drought. Something's going to happen. They're going to get to the line. You know, they'll get something to stay aboard until they hit another spurt. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. What you gonna say?
So we got Pacers fans and Minnesota fans in here.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Now's the time to call in. Might as well.
Yeah. So, you know, fans always want to look around in every way and they're playing better than us. Just admit it. They're playing better than us. Rick Carlisle's coaching better than Tom Thibodeau. And I'm not talking about the number of players. I'm talking about strategy-wise. I'm talking about utilizing his players. Taking advantage of mismatches. Right? Talk about that. tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 11 assists, shot 48% from the field, 41% from the three-point line. Mikal Bridges had 20 points, 7 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points, 7 rebounds. Shot 43% from the field, 40% from the three-point line. He was 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Josh Hart, 6 points, 6 rebounds. OG Anunoby, 16 points, 5 rebounds. But, you know, guys like Karl Anthony Towns tonight was a negative 20 when we talk about plus minus. A lot of it is because, I mean, they run a pick and roll. Miles Turner or Thomas Bryant, whoever it was, rolls to the basket, right? Campaign is coming to pick up the ball handler. Karl Anthony Towns gets stuck like, oh, do I go to the ball handler? Oh, no, my guy's under the basket. Dunk, right? And I believe this was in the midst of when we were trying to make a run. These are the little things I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just like these little confusing, the confusion on defense sometimes. You know what I mean? And Karl Anthony Towns is one of the guys who really gets confused on defense as to when he's supposed to switch, if he's supposed to drop, if he's supposed to go out on a ball handler. You know, he's one of the guys that just constantly gets confused. And it's one of the reasons why he only played 27 minutes. And if they didn't go to the hack of Mitch, he probably wouldn't have finished this basketball game because Mitch understood when to switch, how to switch. He was doing a good job on the ball handlers. You know what I'm saying? You know, Mitch understood how to do it, which is the reason why he was playing. And the Knicks played better with Mitch in the game tonight, in my opinion. Much better. In lieu of Karl Anthony Towns. You know?
I don't know, man. I'm mad because, I really only got to see the fourth. Next game, I'm really only going to get to see the fourth.
Yeah.
So it's from the third quarter.
I disagree with that, Size 9. I disagree with that.
Next tape.
No, yeah. He said the Pacers dismantled Mitch from the third quarter on. I disagree with that big time. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why they went to the hack of Mitch. Two reasons. Get Mitch out the game because he's grabbing offensive rebounds. He's doing, you know, he's doing those things. And, you know, to stop the flow of the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So they don't score in the clutch, this and that. You know, Karl Anthony Towns wasn't doing nothing. Okay, he had 20 points. Cool. But he was lost defensively. He was lost. And he's not really imposing as well. A player here, a player there. You know what I mean? For the Indiana Pacers tonight, ladies and gentlemen, they were led in scoring by Pascal Siakam, 39 points, 5 rebounds.
Career high, career playoff high.
Miles Turner had 16 points, good even scoring. I mean, the Knicks had good even scoring too. 16 points from Miles Turner, 3 rebounds. 14 points from Tyrese Halliburton with 11 assists. Andrew Nembhard had 12. Aaron Naismith had 12. The only other person in double digits was T.J. McConnell. He had 10. Benedict Mathurin, no points. He barely did anything. Obi had 4. Tony Bradley 1, 2 rebounds. Ben Shepherd had 6.
Here's the thing about game 3. I feel like we have to play our best game because I think they're going to play their best game. They was in this exact situation against Cleveland up to 2-0, going back home, and I think they played their worst game of the playoffs. And, you know what I mean? That first game home. So they're going to make a conscious effort, knowing we, you know what I mean? We desperate at this point, you know what I mean? You gotta be honest.
We're desperate.
You know what I mean? We desperate at this point. We can't You know what I mean?
We're desperate.
We got to fight. We got to fight back. We got to claw our way back. So
Yeah.
oh,
Chris said, you try to learn me back as a fan for that? Chris, that's what fans go through, bro. If you're a fan, that's what you go through. I mean, we beat your Celtics.
and y'all got a longer road back than we
Talk
do
about
as of right now.
That's what you go through.
Growing pains, man. It's year one.
Hey, Sim, are you still riding for your favorite coach? Fire Tibbs now. Well, you know what's funny? Because people were like, well, Tibbs got to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Right? Isn't that what people said? We got there. I would love to win it, but we got there. That's what everyone's looking for the reason. Like we haven't been a team that's constantly elevating. When's the last time we won the Eastern Conference Finals?
25 years ago.
25 years ago.
99.
25 years ago. And you know what? You know what everyone's gonna say? If we lose this series, because I'm not giving up on it. I'm still battling. One game at a time. All we got to do is win one. The same way we were talking about when we were up 2-0 versus Boston, all they got to do is win one. Then all they got to do is win the other one. Right? Just win one. Somebody was always going to be up 2-1. Always. Right? All you got to do is win one. And then the next game, the pressure switches back to them. But we've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. This team has been constantly elevating, constantly getting better, year after year after year. But everybody wants to be short-sighted. Right? What happened to the Pacers last year in the Eastern Conference Finals?
They got swept.
Did anybody say fire Rick Carlisle? Did they fire Rick Carlisle? Now they're back in the Eastern Conference Finals. Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm riding with Tibbs. Does that mean that I think he's perfect? No. But we've gone farther than we've gone in 25 years. We've been to the second round the last 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And now to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, why? We're constantly elevating. Can we plateau first? Can we plateau where we're not getting better before we say, let's fire the coach? Can we plateau? We haven't plateaued. Mark, we must learn to fail before we succeed. Exactly. Can we have a team together? Can we have this team together for an entire year? For like 2 years? Can we have that? They've been a second round exit forever. Knicks have not been improving like that. Yeah, that's a lie.
Well, he's looking at it from the perspective of that's where we were at the last 2-3 years. He's not looking at it as a Knicks fan with the where we were before that and before that.
Right. Well. See, the thing is, but when we first made it to the playoffs, we got eliminated in the first round. First round. Then the next year, bunch of injuries, we didn't make the playoffs. The next year, we got eliminated second round against Miami. Last year, we got eliminated second round. That's only twice, buddy.
Game 7
last year. That's only twice. This year, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. F out of here. You know. What are we talking about? Sean said, Knicks never get any easy baskets. That's true. Our baskets are very, very tough to come by. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the Pacers' defense is that great, and the baskets are tough to come by.
A lot of it I feel like comes down to number one, Mikal can get his shot off whenever. It's really about can he make them? You know what I mean? Can he get hot? You know what I mean? That, but I don't know if that's underutilized. I don't know what his shot attempts are, or whatever the case. But I feel like that's a weapon that is usually money. We don't use that. I think we use it too sporadically, and I think that's something that is surefire, right? So we got to find those surefire things that we could go to, and you know what I mean, other than Brunson and having him make the decision.
Yeah. Size 9 said Tibbs never had the same starting five for 2 consecutive seasons. Have we?
Not here. I don't think.
No, talking about here though.
I don't think so. Well, not from the start of one season to the start of the next. No, I don't think so. I think it's usually changed by the end of the year, and then we may start the year with what we ended with.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think it's been start the year and then start the next year. No.
Mark said, keep in mind, other than 2011 Chicago Bulls, Tibbs hasn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals as a head coach. So maybe he's getting his lumps right now. 2, I think this motivates us for next season. And you got to learn. You learn your basketball team too, right? Just like you're learning the team in this series. You know what I mean? You're learning who can do what, when, where, why, and how. You know what I mean? You're figuring that out. I mean, you look at the Pacers. This is the same team that they had last year. Who's new on this Pacers team?
No, nobody. And that's what Halliburton.
Right?
That's what Halliburton said in his post-game interview with TNT. They asked him about their success and them being so comfortable down the stretch, or whether they're down or whatever the case. And he credited the front office, he credited the organization keeping the team together, and referencing himself as experienced, even though he's not a veteran, because of what he went through last year in the Eastern Conference Final, the battle with us, the battle with the Celtics, and then living off that.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even using that as an excuse. I'm only using that to say Rick Carlisle has had these same players to groom and grow and build. You know what I'm saying? We had a turnover this year. If this was the team with Randall and DiVincenzo and that team, be a different story. You know what I mean? But either way, we got to figure some things out. I'm not done with this series yet. I'm not hanging it up. I'm not calling it in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. The Knicks got to pick up their focus. They can't keep having lapses in focus, which we've definitely seen this team do throughout the season. But they got to figure out how not to have it against this team, because the Indiana Pacers are constant pressure. Constant pressure on the defensive side, constant pressure on the offensive side. I love that style of basketball, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But constant pressure on both sides of the ball. So the Knicks have got to figure out how to constantly be focused and stay focused. Because it's these little moments when they lose focus off of a simple pass sometimes that the Pacers are going the other way, or that we turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Losing the focus.
Or, thinking you got to stop but not securing the rebound. You know
what I'm saying? Like
that's the biggest one for me. So.
Yeah. So against this team, you've got to be focused all the way through. You can't lay off the button at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing the Knicks have got to take into Indiana. You know what I mean? Now, being away from home, maybe the focus level goes up a bit, right? Um, the Knicks have been a very good road team in the playoffs, so maybe that focus level goes up. Plus, they're going to be very desperate. You know what I'm saying? So I expect them to come out with that level, very high level of desperation in Indiana in that first game. I'm expecting the Knicks to win Game 3. That's my expectation, that they're going to win Game 3. You know what I mean? The desperation is going to be at an all-time high. They haven't been in this situation.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is repetitive now. We really haven't been in this situation at all. You know what I mean? So this is a real test of character. You know what I mean?
Right. They haven't been in this situation. They haven't had, this team.
But for me personally, that's why I don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even say like I hope we win, but I can't even say like I'm expecting it because we haven't been here before, bro.
That's true. Haven't been here. I'm expecting a win. I feel like we're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this game was still brushing off Game 1. You know what I'm saying? And now Game 3 is like, it's time for us to throw kitchen sinks at them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got to bring out the bats and the chains.
But here's what I was saying. Like, I was confident in this game because I knew we haven't lost 2 games in a row in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, now that we have, you know what I mean? Like, now I can only be like, all right, well, we only lost 2 in a row a couple times this year. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we went on. So that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yo, we really haven't been here.
Yeah.
What are your keys then? What are your like what do you think? Because to me, I thought Karl-Anthony Towns was the X factor in this series.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you're talking, the way dude from the Wolves fan is talking, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like he just don't got it. And I've only seen that a couple times from him this year. But I've seen the opposite too.
With Cat, like, I never feel like, especially in this series, I never feel like his scoring is intentional. What I mean by that is, like, sometimes it's like whatever shot that I can get up, I'm getting up. Not, here's the shot that I want. This is what I'm taking. Yeah. I'm going to command. Pascal Siakam tonight, the shot that he wanted is the shot that he got. Right? I don't see Towns doing that. It's like, okay, well, all right, well,
he's talented enough to make any shot anyway, but he's not. There's no intent. Like, this is what I'm going in the hole.
Exactly.
Like, I'm about to bang.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm trying to get there, but he won't let me, so let me fade away and shoot this crazy floater. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. You know what I mean? And he has the skill, and if he uses his body, he has the body to be able to bowl people over and take the shot that he wants, that he's trying to get. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like his shots are intentional. Brunson's shots are intentional. He goes and gets the shot that he wants. Sometimes he has to create something else, right? But normally Brunson goes and gets the shot that he wants to get. I don't see that with Cat. You know what I mean? You know, and that bothers me some. You know what I'm saying? That bothers me. I think the keys, though, we got to keep rebounding the ball, right? But we got to take care of the ball. You know what I'm saying? We got to get more. I don't think their defense is that great, but we're making it better because we're standing so still on the offensive side. You know what I'm saying? We need a little bit more movement on the offensive side to make their defense move. That's going to allow Brunson to get more penetration to the lane. Now, I wish the referees would really pay attention to the Celtics did it. They're doing it as well. When Brunson has the ball, you know what I'm saying? They camp out in that lane. They're in the paint for 3 seconds or more. They're camping out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want, because they're scared Brunson's going to penetrate. So I hope that the referees pay attention to that a little bit more. I think we got to find a way to get when Naismith is in the game. You know what I'm saying? He's very aggressive on Brunson. We got to find the right person to switch. You know what I'm saying? We only set screens with certain guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But whoever is, get a switch so that Nembhard is guarding him, because he abuses Nembhard. He abuses Nembhard every time Nembhard guards him. You know what I'm saying? So whoever Nembhard is guarding, bring that person to set the screen so you get a switch.
The problem is we don't have everybody don't set good screens.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I think that's why
a simple one should create the switch. You know what I'm saying? But we whoever Halliburton is guarding, they set the screen, and Hallie's got some length. You know what I'm saying? And use somebody else to get Brunson the ball in the post and let him go to work. Brunson works in the post. It's going to create fouls. You know what I mean? I think I don't know what to do with Towns to get it, because no matter where we get him the ball, it doesn't seem like he's going to command his spot and his shot. Intent. You know what I'm saying? No intent. So I don't know. I think we got to let OG play some bully ball a little bit. The problem is he's been clumsy these past 2 games.
Yeah. It seemed like it started. I was gonna say this series felt like more than 2 games already. But it felt like he cleaned that up this year.
Yeah, but
it felt like he felt he got a stretch where it felt like he was trying to find his strength. Yeah. And then it felt at a certain point this year, it felt like he got it. And then now he's back to falling and tripping.
And then I think the team got to get on the same page. If you seen at the end of last game, there was arguing on the bench, right? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think Cat has a lot to do with it. I'm not, when you see him arguing on the bench, OG was arguing, was trying to tell Cat something. Maybe it's about drop coverage. They was arguing. You know what I'm saying? And then Brunson was like trying to tell OG to chill. And then Cat said something. And then Brunson jumped up, aggressively towards Cat, telling him whatever. And it was like, they falling apart. Are they falling apart? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they need to have a team meeting, get on the same page. You know what I'm saying?
That'll be the second team meeting in 2 series.
You know what I mean? Hey, you got to do it. Get on the same page. You know what I mean? Just get on the same page. But mainly it's defensively. Mm-hmm. I mean, they can score the ball almost at will. Tips? We got to figure out how to slow them down, not pace-wise, but just scoring. You know what I'm saying? Keep our, have the right position so that your man can't backdoor cut. Make sure that we're making the right switches off the pick and roll. It's got to take care of the little things. Take care of but the one thing I can say, and I don't know if you're going to gain it in this series. They're just playing like a more poised basketball team. And we're not playing as poised as they do.
They're dangerous because they don't, like, you don't expect Pascal to be the leader. Like, you don't know who's going to be the leading scorer next game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't know who's going to be the guy that they feed. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they spread the wealth until they find a hot hand.
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
they're very, very poised though.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? They're very cool, calm, collected, and poised.
And that's a growth from last year.
That's part of a growth from last year. You know what I mean? Very poised. Big Bubba, man, what's popping?
Here we go.
Bubba, what's up, man?
I don't know, man. It's frustrating.
It's frustrating, but we win in game 3. We win in game 3.
We got yeah, man. We got no choice, man.
Jordan Smith.
We have no choice. And
Jordan, my fault, Big Bubba. But Jordan Smith, we're winning game 3. Jordan, we're winning game 3. Hey, Jordan, let's make a bet. I'm the only winner in this bet, though. But if we win game 3, you call in. Jordan. If the Knicks win game 3, Jordan has to call into the show. Come on, man. Make the bet, Jordan. If we win, you call in. Go ahead, Big Bubba.
Hey, man, Jordan, you better call in, man. So, you know, side note, I remember you did that to somebody one time, man, and when they called it, I was like, that's how you sound? I just remember that. When you did that with somebody else. It was a while ago.
Bet. Jordan said it's a bet. Jordan says, make sure you got minutes on your phone, Jordan.
Uh-oh.
Make sure you got minutes on your phone, pay your phone bill, all of that, because you're calling in. I'm expecting to talk to you on Sunday.
What time we play Sunday, by the way?
8 o'clock. And the show might be a little bit later because I'm supposed to be going out somewhere to watch it, and then I'll come back and, do the show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sim, I mean, I was just listening to y'all. It's no choice. Got to win game 3. It's no choice. It's just frustrating, Sim, because a lot of the issues you see the Knicks had throughout this season, right? Is just sometimes this is on display, man. It's just the bench, man. The bench is just. I know. The Knicks don't have a bench, but my God, man. I mean, 11 points.
Big Bubba. It's like this. It's like this. It's like this. If you were on my basketball team, right? We got 10 players on the team. We're only playing 6 of them. People are like, y'all need to put another player in because they're playing 8 players. You're only playing 6. You need to put Big Bubba in. I'm going to look and I'm going to say, hell no. He makes us worse. I'm not putting him in the game.
Well, first of all, I make us better, by the way.
So I'm not putting him in the game. He makes us worse. He's a practice player. I'm not putting him in the game. Because he makes us worse. You get it?
Yeah, but don't use me, man. I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good.
Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to them.
Hey, Sim, we still got that basketball game, so don't you worry.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to bust your...
But so I mean, Sim, Sim, I do get what you mean, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, even during the off season, man. I mean, when we got Cameron Payne, I'm like, Cameron Payne. I mean, blemish. Like the Knicks went extremely hard to go get Landry Shamet, and it's just, I mean, we're not even. It's frustrating because man, you just don't have nobody. And we're overusing our what you call it, man. And again.
So let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you like I asked some other people. All right. Deuce McBride played 25 minutes. Too many minutes for him?
He gave us 6 points. I would say it was. But
just saying, too many minutes for him?
In reality, no.
No.
I mean, that's...
Our best lineups were with Deuce tonight. Mitchell Robinson, 29 minutes. Too many minutes?
No, that's what he should be playing.
No. Josh Hart, 28 minutes. Too many minutes?
That's pretty good for him because he...
Huh?
But here's my issue,
No. Let me finish. Karl Anthony Towns, 27 minutes. Too many minutes?
No, that's good minutes, man. That's good minutes. Even though he played like trash today.
OG Anunoby, 35 minutes. Too many minutes?
No, that's regular for a playoff game.
So Jalen Brunson, 38 minutes.
It's teetering.
The only person that played exorbitant minutes for the Knicks is Mikal Bridges.
But so here's the issue, right? You can't keep doing that. I mean, come on.
Keep doing what? You just said these guys didn't play a lot of minutes.
But Sim, you know what I mean. We need production so that when these guys don't on the bench, that we have some production, man. We don't have the production because again, right, you're stacking guys.
So who you putting in that's giving you that production? That's what I'm saying. Who's giving you that production? Okay, Deuce gave you 5 points, but who's giving you the defense? Who on your bench is giving you the defense that Deuce gives you?
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not going to say because you would have got mad if I would have said what I said.
Who's you going to say? Maybe Dylan Wright.
People going to be mad when I say this,
Wright.
but listen, this is why you signed. This is why you have the T.J. Warrens and all these guys.
T.J. Warren?
This is why you have them.
T.J. Warren?
See, I knew you was going to do that when I say that.
He's long gone. He left when the Knicks signed P.J. Tucker.
And we're not even using P.J. Tucker, man. I mean, it's cool to have that. Listen, man, it's cool to have the guy that's going to motivate the guys and all this stuff, but we need points, man, and production and time for players to get rest. We're not using P.J. Tucker. That's come on, man.
Yo, listen,
like the Knicks are past that.
I'm just gonna say this. Listen,
me personally, the Knicks are past that.
I'm gonna say it one more time.
Oh, we need a guy to.
You can play Precious Achiuwa, and I'm not opposed to playing Precious, right? His defensive versatility can definitely be used. Let me say that. So his defensive versatility can be used, right? He can rebound in basketball. But go ahead, put Dottie in the game. It's not going to change the outcome. Put Huck Porty in the game. Not changing the outcome. Put Kolek in the game. It's not changing the outcome. But Shamadin, Tucker, or Wright, it's not changing the outcome.
How do you know that, though?
I can guarantee you it's not changing the outcome. That's not the reasons we lost. Not playing those guys is not the reasons we lost. If you had DiVincenzo out there and you didn't play him, now maybe you can say, oh, this guy give you 15 a game and plays defense. Why are you not playing him? I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't see that those guys are changing this basketball game. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe
we say
listen,
that, but then it's like, when we got all these guys, when we look at our benches, like we get no production from the guys. It can't be worse than what we're seeing now. I'm sorry, it really can't.
It actually
because
can.
Cameron Payne came in. Cameron Payne came in, gave us nothing. Deuce, even though Deuce in those lineups were good, he gave us 6 points.
It's not always about the 6 points. It's the defense. He played in our best lineups. Him and Mitchell Robinson had the best plus minus on the floor.
And Simba, okay, and this is another issue where I have with Thibs. This is the issue I have with Thibs. I don't understand why. You're so, and this is to me stubbornness. This is stubbornness. Is put Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup.
Bro, it's
put
game 2.
Put him in the starting lineup.
But, okay, it's game 2.
This should have been happened.
It should have been happened since when?
When Mitch was fully able to recover, when Mitch was more comfortable on the floor, this should have been happened. Josh Hart should not be in the starting lineup. Listen, we love Josh Hart. Josh Hart is a great hustle guy.
But listen.
But Josh Hart is a 6-man on the bench.
Mitchell Robinson is just getting to the point where he's doing what he's doing right now. when Mitchell Robinson first came back, he was struggling. His wind was not there. He is just getting to this point. He is just getting to this point.
I'm agreeing with you.
You know what I mean?
But when you recognize that he's back, that's the time when you put him in the starting lineup to have the big lineup so everybody can move up. We can have a bigger starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Hart can go on the bench. He can still get the minutes, go on the bench, feast on the second squad. Because to me, that's when you put him. You get Hupp. You can have Deuce. That's a decent starting. That's a decent backup bench.
We'll see. I mean, the double big lineup. I don't know.
That's what made the Timberwolves so successful last year with Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert.
Where'd they go to last year?
They went to the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying.
I know they went to the Western Conference Finals, exactly where we are right now, without that lineup.
But Sim, I'm saying it would be beneficial for the Knicks bench with Josh Hart there. It would be beneficial for the Knicks to get off to a great start.
I mean, we would see. I'm still me personally. I feel like defensively, my problem is Karl Anthony Towns in that lineup. That's
but you don't have a line. You don't have a line of defense if Mitch is out there. At least you got a line of defense. If Cat makes a mistake,
right? No, true. I get that. Yeah, but I feel like Cat slows down our defense. Right? When Cat's not in the game, our defense, I feel, is much faster on closeouts, much better on switches. We have much more switchability. There are times when Cat's able to play on the perimeter, defend some guys, but I feel like Mitch is much better at it. He's much better on pick and roll coverage.
So
he definitely, that's what I feel, but you're not making that change.
Here's what I'm going to ask you, though. Because, I felt like if Tibbs, I wouldn't be surprised if Tibbs makes that change. I was telling you off air. Do you think, because I hear what you're saying, but I still think Mitchell Robinson next to Cat is better than Cat without Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson without Cat is best. So is best of all three.
Here's my fear. My only fear is that lineup with extended minutes, that they're not we won't be able to keep pace with the Pacers.
That's my fear. The starting lineup now is a minus. I forgot what they're like. They're not good.
I get that. But I just feel like with them two, I don't know. I feel like it
doesn't have to be extended minutes though. It could be the same amount of minutes as being utilized already. What it does though, it forces Indiana to have to strategize against that early. You know what I mean? Strategize against that immediately. Now, to your point, you're saying you think there's things that they could take advantage of.
See, I don't think they have to strategize against it. I think Pascal can score. I mean, Mitch would be on Pascal. I think that's going to, that could still be an advantage. I mean, Mitch can guard him, but I think Pascal can get Mitch in foul trouble. Karl Anthony Towns is going to be on Miles Turner, and I think it's going to be the same issues that we've been having with anything with Miles Turner, if we've had many issues. But I think it's going to be the same thing.
I think he's been contained pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't mind seeing it change and see what it looks like. Cat would definitely have to be more at the power forward spot. Obviously, he's going to go to the power forward.
Or let me ask you this: do you think? Because obviously, if he's going to make a change, he's not taking out two starters. He's not changing two starters.
No.
So, do you think Deuce in place of Hart is a better strategic change than starting Mitch?
It could be. It definitely could be. I think he's a better defender and a better three-point shooter and a better ball handler. Josh gets a little crazy on those fast breaks.
Okay.
You know, it could be. You know, it's definitely not giving anything away defensively. You're getting better defensively.
Maybe losing rebounds.
Maybe losing some rebounds.
You know,
See, that's the thing.
Assist is give or take, but again, it's not about starter minutes. It's about immediate change to the start of the game.
Right. It's about making the lineups. I'm just Ron, still Knicks fan, said that 2 big lineup was getting cooked versus the Pacers. The rotations were terrible, and Mitch and Cat looked lost when Indiana switched up their motion offense, and that's what I'm saying. I just don't know if it can keep pace with them. I just don't know if it can. I think in spurts, in a couple minutes here and there, it helps. You know, I just don't know if you know, you got 2 guys. I mean, Mitch is mobile, right? But he's so long, it takes him a little longer to get to those places just because he's long. You know, where, you know, those guys, you know, offensively with all the movement, you know what I mean? It's a tough one. And Tibbs doesn't use a zone. So, you know, it's a tough one, man. Personally, I mean, I know Karl Anthony Towns ain't coming out to start a lineup. I know he's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I like the lineup in this series. I like the lineup with Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Mitch. We still can score with OG and Bridges and Brunson because Cat is basically an innocent bystander scorer in this series. He's not commanding or demanding anything. And then Cat and Hart can dominate off the bench.
And I've only seen him do that probably twice,
you know what I mean?
Maybe 3 times this whole year.
Yeah.
Where it looked like he wanted the ball. He's asking for it. He clapping for it.
Yeah. I mean, I really think that's our best lineup. You know what I'm saying? I really think that's our best lineup versus this team. It's got a lot of versatility defensively. You just get that boost of energy with Deuce and Mitch. You still got your scoring. I think that's been our best lineups in this series. You know what I mean? Old Soul Chief, thank you for the super chat. He said, in the midst of a battle, you can't complain about replacing your general. That's from Raw Hebrew. I agree 100%. You know what I'm saying? I agree 100%. Size 9 said that lineup did nothing but keep the game within 2 or 3 points. That's wrong. In the first half, that lineup had the lead. Right? That lineup had the lead. I think that's a good lineup. I think it's fast defensively. You know, you give up some scoring, but I think what it makes up in defensively, you know, offsets it. I think it offsets it. You know what I'm saying? And I think size 9 is right. I think they were still scoring with that lineup. You know what I mean? Is that going to happen? No. But I wouldn't mind seeing that lineup in this series. You know what I mean? In this series. In the first half, we did have a lead. I mean, we ended the first half with the lead. And the only reason in the first half, Cat came back with a minute left in the first half or something like that. But we ended the first half with a 3-point lead. I'm positive of that. And let me see. Our biggest lead was, I don't know if it was with that group. I don't know what our biggest lead was. Let me see. The Knicks' biggest lead tonight was 7. And I'm not sure which group was in the game during that lead. Not sure. I don't know. But
Somebody asked if Big Bubba's still on the line.
yeah, Big Bubba's still there. He probably fell asleep.
I didn't fall asleep.
He probably fell asleep. I just woke him up, ladies and gentlemen. I just woke him up.
No, you just. See, I hate when you
did.
do
I just woke him up.
This is stuff there.
I just woke him up.
Man,
you hear him just yawn, right? You just heard him yawn.
no, I yawned a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, I yawned a little bit. But
I thought I heard snoring too. That's why.
Yeah.
No, I ain't Tony. I ain't snoring, man. But listen, man, it's no choice now. It's literally no choice that we got to win these next 2 games, Andy.
Well, obviously,
obviously,
we're winning game 3.
I think we're gonna. I definitely think we're gonna win game
3. We're winning game 3. We're winning game 3. Just let everybody know. I already got the call from Adam Silver. Game 3's in the books. Big Bubba, I'm gonna let you go so some other people can call in and express their disappointment.
Barbecue chicken.
Right, go catch a nap.
I'm going to sleep, man.
Peace. Yeah, we gotta win game 3, man. Take care of the basketball. Make smart decisions. Take smart shots. Rebound the basketball. And get better defensively. You know what I mean? And get better defensively. Kareem, what's popping with you, brother? Tell us how we win in game 3. We winning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you came in after you was talking already. Yeah, what's up, man? Shout out to you, Tony Crow, man. First, I would like to start by saying this. I'm not liking the body language, the facial expressions of any of the Knicks players. This does not look like the team that just beat the number 2 seed Celtics. We don't look like that. We don't look confident at all during the first 2 games of this series.
Mm.
Also, I don't think that like for example, with everybody saying you're gonna have to play better. Like I had a feeling we were gonna lose this game at the beginning of the game.
Mm.
We did not look confident. So I don't like, as far as changing the lineup, like you just seen, what did the Boston Celtics just do? They got there by the 3. How did they die?
By the 3.
By the 3. Because now, let's say you switch up and you lose, that's even more indication of a pink slip. You deviated from the game plan and lost.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Rather than sticking to it and losing or having a possibility of winning. So I just think, man, I don't know what's going on with this team. Like you said, I agree with you, Sim. We already knew, like, Knicks fans have short-term memory. We knew 2 big things coming into the season. We didn't have a bench, and we didn't have a backup big man to a certain point of the. So we could still argue. Besides Mitch being there, we don't really have that much variety when it comes to the 5. It's Mitch and Cat.
Right.
You want to go small, you put in this dude, Chua.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew that already. So the fact that we got this far without a bench is amazing.
That's true.
I don't know another coach that could do it.
I agree.
They'd have been in Disney World salmon fishing right now if it was somebody else. Talking about we've been there. Agree. Oh, this is the greatest place in the world.
Yep.
So to turn this series around, we look scared out there, man. We don't look confident. I just heard you say they had an argument.
Yeah, last game they
So
were arguing on the bench.
yeah. So I say, man, at this point, a player, Brunson, call a players meeting. Don't even let it get to a team meeting. Captain, call a meeting amongst the players. ASAP.
We just did that against the Celtics.
Well, should do it again.
Yeah.
But I feel you. And it is frustrating because you talking about defense, right? Remember that play where this dude, I think it was either Naismith or Siakam, and Cat is at the top of the court, and he goes into the into the basket, to the restricted area. He had an open shot. I'm like, dude, is your defensive awareness this horrible? That play was crazy, man.
Right.
So I can see why they would argue and yell at it. Like, dude, you don't even try. You and it's cancer, but you just dropped 20-something points a game. Yeah, your defensive way, you don't know about how to defend a pick, the roll, the mayonnaise, nothing, bro. The mustard, nothing. Got to clean that up. Man. At least try, dude. Sometimes he doesn't even try.
That's what it looks like sometimes.
Yeah, he's a superstar in his cancer.
Sometimes I feel like it's the just not having a high defensive acumen. It slows him down.
Yes.
Trying to figure out what to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But he just I think it's definitely that, and also too, if you notice, offensive players, what they do is they'll use his body and momentum against him to get fouls because he's also not confident in the defense. And it's like, dude, and you don't have to block shots. You're 7 foot. Just alter shots. Put your hands up.
Put your hand up. And he tries to do little tough things, bumping with the body, and he gets caught every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
what are you doing? Just
it's
play.
like you Suge Knight hitting the engineer in the studio.
He'll do it after good defense or after the guy already got the shot off.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Like, what are you doing? Man? Just play.
Yeah, and then looks complain to the ref, and then what you said, Sim, also, man, it's like this dude, he'll take. I'm like, bro, he had a shot where he couldn't get past the defender, and he shot up this crazy. Bro, you talking about? I did not know you could actually there was a hybrid between a fadeaway and a floater. That was crazy. I'm like, all right, bro. Now, and I ain't gonna lie, I haven't liked the way he's played during this entire playoffs. Like, he is too many games where he has not shown up.
Yeah.
And then now I'm looking at Brunson, and Brunson don't look confident no more, and that's a problem. They found a way to where, he's still getting shots, right? Like this game. Made shots, but it wasn't in key points of the game. So they basically neutralized Mr. Clutch. Mr. Clutch is now Mr. Crutch. So if that continues to happen, the Knicks will be in Disney World by Tuesday.
Mm.
Or whenever that game 4 is, if we don't clean this up. They'll be in subway surfing or something. I don't know what they're gonna be doing, but they won't be in the NBA finals.
Right.
Like, no one looks confident right now, Sam. Only one that I can say that don't look scared is McCall.
Now, I will say, somebody said it very good earlier, and I put it up. I forgot who it was, but they said the Knicks are a good team and they're learning how to be great. Sometimes, you got to go through bumps to learn.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, and I thought you were still talking. I don't want to cut you off. Listen, Sim, I'm not mad, bro. When the last time, bro, I was a little squirt when we went to the Eastern Conference. We've gotten better every year, so I'm not even mad.
Right.
We made it far. We're getting better every year. What I will say next season is we have to make that bench better. That's a priority right there. But I'm not mad, bro. But I'm just mad at it's the Pacers. I can't stand them.
Yeah, word. Word.
Like, Halliburton with that special needs jump shot. I can't stand it. Dude got the Nammy jump shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I don't like the only, like, I would say Mikal and OG, man. Like, they don't. Everybody else, it just looks crazy, man. Like the key people, like Brunson, and I won't say everybody else. That's probably hyperbole, but just Brunson and Cat, we need them to be better. Now, Brunson did drop, the first game, he dropped 40 plus, but they just crumbled in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Like, and gave that, and I saw it. Once I said, I'm like, we ain't winning this one. We're not winning this one. So it's like you can you can kind of predict. Like, at the beginning of this game, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna win this game. They did not come out like a team with urgency to win this game. They came out looking like a YMCA rec team.
Yeah, but listen, we win in game 3 though. I'm predicting it today.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I'm gonna tell you, I'm kind of superstitious now. So from now on, I'll be watching highlights, man. I ain't gonna put myself through that.
Yeah,
I might dip in once in a while.
You gotta watch
bro,
it, man. The
like,
Knicks, they winning.
Nah,
I got
man.
the call from Adam Silver. They winning.
Oh, he hit you on the back phone.
He hit me on the phone. They're winning.
Well, Adam Silver, can you fix the next 4 games?
Word.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, but like I said, man, I'm not mad. I'm rolling with the team. Then also one more thing. I know I don't want to hold you up too long. This coaching conversation. You know what I always say about when people talk about fire, even with the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
Fire Aaron Boone, fire Tom Thibodeau, and hire who? That's the next question you got to ask yourself. Who are you hiring?
Yeah. You know they're gonna say.
Sometimes who's on the market?
They're gonna say Mike. What's
Mike? Yeah, I saw that, but it's like all right, but like, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
like, this is the dude that got us here.
Yeah, I'm just, I ain't even thinking about firing Tibbs, man. That's people. They're just using whatever fits their agenda right now. They want to fire him. It's the first time we've been here in 25 years.
Mm-hmm. And then
years.
Sam, don't get it twisted, right? I will give the fan base this, right? And this is why I like the way you would do your shows, where you would do this type of show where everybody's hot, and then you lay down, you get to gather your thoughts, you come and do a rundown the next day.
Yeah.
You already know after a loss, bro, it's everybody catch straight. F. Tracy Morgan, everybody, the dude, the security guard on level 4, everybody catching it straight. So I understand it. It's frustration. But I just think about that. It's like, dude, fire him and hire him.
Right. Listen,
who's on the market?
Tibbs a good coach.
Besides that dude.
Tibbs a good coach. Not saying he's perfect. He's a good coach.
Yeah, he's not perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
But I will say this, man. If we do, this is the thing that Tibbs, and I will give Tibbs this. He has made adjustments, to the way he's coached. So, like, for example, this year, y'all got to play the minutes because who he got? Like, let's be real. Once Cameron Payne and Shamit walk, they're going to be on the Shanghai Sharks next season. They're going to be in China someday.
Yeah.
Nobody's pursuing them.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a bench, so we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah.
And I would say to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, has that ever been done where you get an Eastern Conference Finals and with no bench? I want to know, has that ever been done historically?
I don't know, but you know what I'm saying?
So I tip my hat off to Tibbs, man.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. It's always going to be someone who don't like him, who don't like the coach. I don't. Yeah. If we had Rick Carlisle, somebody would not like Rick Carlisle.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
And like you said, I agree with you, Tim. I mean, I said Tim. What am I talking about? I need to take mine to bed. I agree with you, Sim. They have outplayed us. We got to just admit that. Like, I know we don't want to say it. They have outplayed us. Yeah. Rick Carlisle has outcoached Tom Thibodeau. I agree with you both points.
No doubt about it.
Without a doubt.
No doubt. He's been outcoaching us.
Yes,
Out-coaching
and
Tom
we look
Thibodeau.
lost.
For real. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you
Kareem-
are totally right when you said made those 2 points.
Yeah, man. Kareem, I appreciate it,
Mhm.
man.
Appreciate you having me. All right,
No
Tony, shout out to you, man.
No doubt.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Oh,
Barbecue chicken
yeah,
game 3, right?
You
winning
already
game
know.
3.
We gotta do it, man. If we can win the next 2, it'll be great, man.
We're winning game 3.
Yeah.
We're winning
Oh
game
yeah,
3.
Sim, you know I graduated from Plattsburgh, right?
Oh, for real? Ah, damn. Oh,
Yeah,
congrats,
man. I was up there.
That's
I
what's
was
up.
up there in the sticks.
You was up in Plattsburgh?
Yeah, I went to the graduation.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Yeah, I was
that's
up
what's
there looking
man.
like somebody
Congrats.
retired security guard.
Congrats. That's what's up.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, we definitely got to win. If we could win these next 2 games, all right, then I'm like, oh, this is a series.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We
Definitely,
winning
man.
game
and
3.
We showing in this playoffs, we can win on the road.
Yeah, for sure. We're 5-1 on the road. We're winning game 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No
facts.
doubt. All right, Kareem.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right,
peace.
man. All right.
Peace.
Have a good night, fellas.
Peace.
Peace.
Let me see. I wanted to. Who's this?
Got super chat.
Sean Richardson said, "Stop letting Sim fool you. The Knicks have a bench. The coach is just clueless." Let me say this. I have spoiled milk in my fridge. That don't mean I'm gonna use it. I mean, come on. Every team in the league has a bench. Don't mean it's good. Canberry, thank you for the super chat. He said, when the trade happened, OG said he thought the team was fine the way it was. So did I. Anyway, we have to win 3 out of the next 4, and 3 of the games are on the road.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna front. I remember when he said that. I thought that was kind of crazy because he don't say much.
Right.
And you know, he did end it where he says about every player, he's a great player.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, I don't want to get too much into like that team. I will say this. I do believe in my heart of hearts, if we had that team, we're up 2-0 on the Pacers. I do believe that because I believe defensively we were more aggressive. We would have better switchability versus this Pacers team. More scoring to go against this Pacers team. I know we got Karl Anthony Towns and he's a better scorer than Julius Randle, but Julius Randle still would have gave you 20 to 25. And you had DiVincenzo.
And
you had
he gravitated
DiVincenzo.
the defense. He forced the double team. He learned how to play out the double team.
I think that team, I think we'd be up 2-0. That's just my opinion. I think we'd be up 2-0 because the defensive switchability is just better. And Mitch would have been on the floor defensively. He would have been back. He would have been on the floor defensively with Randall at the power forward spot, OG, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, with Josh Hart and DiVincenzo and Deuce coming off the bench. Then we would have had a bench. I do. But I'm just saying, we win game 3, and then we go into game 4 and put pressure on them to take game 4. You know what I'm saying? I still believe in this team.
I gotta put something up, Sims.
Oh, my bad. Come back to that after this. He said more playmaking. Brunson, Jew, and Ihart were good passers. Right now, Brunson is the only playmaker. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had Ihart. I mean, I hate when people bring that up, like, oh, the Knicks should have paid him. They couldn't pay him.
They couldn't pay him.
There's nothing they could do. It was his decision.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad at him.
Yeah.
I should have known it was Sean. He said, Tony, say something, brother. You know damn well the Pacers bench ain't damn good to where Thibodeau can't play nobody on his bench. I think the Pacers bench been utilized since last year because collectively their team isn't as good. Like their starters aren't as good. So he has to rely on like depth.
See, this is where I disagree with him. Right? You got Obi Toppin on the bench. Right? He's obviously can score, can shoot the threes, good bench player. Benedict Mathurin was a first round pick. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Defensive guy coming off the bench. Can't shoot the ball. Thomas Bryant, he's played on, well, I don't know how much playing time he's had, but he's been a guy he's been a starter in the league. Right? He's, a decent backup center. TJ McConnell, you already know what he does. I mean, they got at least 3 guys that can be productive. I mean, we're iffy on 1. Sometimes Cam, sometimes Precious. Deuce. We're iffy on 2. I guess. Well, maybe. I guess. Well, no. We got Mitch. We got Deuce. Right?
We got Mitch and Deuce.
And then the next one is iffy. Like when Precious played in the first game, but he didn't play a lot of minutes, so you can't really go by that.
But
Cam
I also thought he changed the game when he came in. Wait, he played the first game against the Pacers?
I think he played a couple of minutes when Mitch went out or something like that. Maybe it wasn't. I thought
I know in Detroit. I mean in the Celtics, I felt like he didn't play a lot.
Maybe it was the Celtics then. Maybe it was the Celtics.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot, but I felt like his presence made a difference. We lost that game, I think, but his presence made a difference. But here's the thing. I don't disagree with them. I just feel like it is what it is at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he was gonna utilize them, he should have been utilizing them to the extent of all year long, to where they know, you know what I mean, they're comfortable in
but see
their role in position.
Right. See where I disagree. I don't think he would use Precious over Obi. I don't think he would use Campaign over TJ McConnell. Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if those guys were on that team, they wouldn't be playing.
I mean, especially where Obi was when he left.
Yeah.
But again, but that also I don't know if you're right just because of the defense part. You know what I mean? Because that now you're weighing it.
No, I'm saying that you put Precious on that team. Probably not playing. He's not playing over Obi.
Yeah, but Obi here, would he play over Precious? It would be an offense-defensive decision.
I think Obi here on this team, I think he would play over Precious. Because he
athleticism.
The athleticism, the ability to score, the ability to get up and down the floor. I think he probably would play over Precious. TJ McConnell would definitely play over Campaign. Campaign wouldn't even be a thought.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. He'd be in a rotation.
Yeah. He'd be in a rotation.
He'd be in a rotation definitively.
And Benedict Mathurin would play because Tom Thibodeau loves the defense.
Yeah.
He would be in a rotation.
See, when you say it like that, Sam, you make a great point. Like their bench is better than our bench for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
But that's what I was saying from the beginning. I think our starters are better. And more so like from last year, I thought collectively they're deeper. You know what I mean? Like their bottom 5 is way better than our bottom 5.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Sean said, I'm a damn lie. Precious Wright and Shamet on the Pacers. Rick is definitely using them. Shamet wasn't even in the league. Nobody was using them. We're gonna find out when we get a couple more players somehow. We every time we lose, we use that instead of just admitting we just lost. Every time that's the issue every time, and it's just not. It's just not. And then I keep seeing this crazy stuff. Oh, the players got to the Eastern Conference Finals on their own. That's a smart person talking. Josh, Uncle Fulio, thank you for the super chat. He said, team defense this series has been awful, in my opinion. It has. Game 1, giving up 6 threes in the final minutes. That was terrible. Game 2, poor transition D on makes. That's terrible. I would start Mitch. Let me slow down. I would start Mitch and Cat for the remainder of the series. More precious minutes since we're switching anyway. We'll see. I appreciate the super chat, Uncle Fulio.
That's my thought, Sam.
You know,
that's my thought. 100%.
We'll see.
It does put us in a predicament for a couple of reasons, because if, like you said, if Mitch gets in foul trouble, you know what I mean, or if they both are getting in foul trouble, now we're forced to rely on Precious. Now, does that become a good thing? I think he can be utilized. I think it would be better I guess he probably would be better utilized as a small ball 5 with OG, with Mikal, with Deuce, with Brunson. Like, that might be maybe not as effective as Mitch, but that might be that, you know what I mean? Like, that might be close to that, you know what I mean? As far as the switchability and if you're in foul trouble and you're forced to, but it does open the door to expand that rotation a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, whose minutes does it become an expense of?
Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I mean? Karl Anthony Towns. That's who. Karl Anthony Towns. I can answer that question. Shoot. Sean said, Tom Thibodeau's 7-man rotation will be the death of the team for the 3rd year in a row. Yeah, like we didn't have injuries to Randall and OG and Brunson and Josh Hart.
And Mitchell Robinson.
And Mitchell Robinson last year.
Well, yeah, it would be Cat and it would be Josh Hart, the same as tonight.
Yeah, Cat and Josh Hart, right.
It's not expanding. It's not giving nobody else time. You know what I mean? But it's taking away time from those guys.
I mean, I wouldn't mind using Precious because of his ability to switch defensively. You know what I mean?
Especially at the small ball 5, if they go small.
Right. Anyway, well, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Now, here's one thing that Jordan said that I think is, you know, people look at the names that we have on the bench and say, oh, yeah, you know, we got a bench. And then they say, oh, well, who is Ben Shepherd, Tony Bradley, right? But I was going to say this. You know, y'all worried about names because you heard these names before. Just because these guys don't have names don't mean they can't play.
Shepherd is nice.
Right. Shepherd is good. And it don't mean that they not better than our guys. You know what I mean? Robert said, our starters should be playing no more than 30 to 35 minutes. Well, tonight, that's exactly what they played, bro. That's exactly what the starters played tonight. OG, 35. Josh Hart, 28. Karl Anthony Towns, 27. Brunson played 38. He's going to play that. You know it. Bridges is the only outlier. You know what I mean? We haven't played as good. Yeah, I think that's the bottom line. We haven't played as good.
Man.
Haven't played as good. You know what I mean? Sim, you never answered the question. Give me one great thing about Tom Thibodeau as a coach. He has been a great stabilizer for this franchise. Bottom line. When he got here, we didn't sniff the playoffs. When he got here, we had just come off of 21 wins. We're now in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what's great. That's what's great. When we got here, we were the laughing stock of the league. The laughing stock of the league. Yes, B-Baller, I'm fine with it. We were the laughing stock of the league. We're now in the Eastern Conference Finals. Think about that. How many years ago was that? 4, 5 years ago? 5 years ago. terrible. We were a terrible team. And he took a team that Coach Fizdale had and won 41 games with it. With Elfrid Payton at your starting point guard spot. And won 41 games. Tell me that's not true. Tell me that's not facts. That is all facts. Tom Thibodeau took a team that won 21 games with Elfrid Payton at your starting point guard spot and Reggie Bullock at your starting shooting guard spot and brought them to the playoffs. What would be the 4th seed that year? The 4th seed. And we're now in the Eastern Conference Finals. Come on. I don't have to say anymore. I don't have to talk about whatever you want to talk about, Sean. That's proof to you with what he's meant to this team and this franchise and what he's done. Come on. Come on. You know, and we've tried everything. We went with, you know, we tried to do the Jason Kidd thing and bring Derek Fisher in, right? A fresh mind and all of that. Didn't work. We tried the old smart guy, the guy, the low-level Steve Kerr type of guy, and Jeff Hornacek. It didn't work. We tried the guy like everyone is, you know, always talking about. What's his name there with the Cavs now? Assistant coach. We just left. You're muted. He just left from us. He was with us. He was under Tom Thibodeau. I can't think of his name right now. I can't hear you. Oh, Johnny Bryant. I can't hear you for some reason, Tony. We tried the hot assistant coach. Tom Fizdale was the hot assistant coach. We tried that. He was the guy everybody liked. Everybody liked Fizdale. Oh, Fizdale's gonna be a great coach. Stamped by LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Shit didn't work. We should have got Kenny Atkinson. He's a great coach. They got eliminated in the second round. 2. Oh my God, look what he's doing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have 60+ wins. They're the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. They got eliminated by the team we're losing to right now. Like everybody's, you know, we tried all of that. And it didn't work. But Tom Thibodeau
the last coach we had that I liked was Woodson.
I love Mike Woodson.
He was the last coach I liked.
Same kind of coach as Tom Thibodeau.
That was 2013, right?
Yeah, right. Same type of coach as Tom Thibodeau. Right? Same kind of coach. I wish Mike Woodson was still here with this team.
On the staff, yeah.
On the staff. I wish he was still here with this team on the staff. You know what I mean? So, you know, Tom Thibodeau took a 21-win team and turned it into an Eastern Conference Finals team. That's all we need to know right there. Right? Turned it into an Eastern Conference Finals team. And the team is continuing to get better. Just because you lose, we could come back and win the series. We might lose. Just because you lose doesn't mean your team isn't continuing to grow. If you pay attention, if you had a graph in front of you, you would see an upward trajectory with some dips, right? But as long as you continue to go upward, that's what you want to do. And this team continues to go upward, continues to get better.
Tell you one thing, Tibbs is going right to work.
Exactly.
He go right to the film.
Soon as the season,
He going
listen,
right.
whenever this season ends, he's going right to the film room. We got to break some stuff
Oh
down.
no, I'm talking about tonight.
Tonight.
He already,
yeah, of course.
he already watching film.
Already watching film.
Figure that post game. I told you, man, that joke was shorter than Birdman interview on the Breakfast Club. I think they asked him 2 questions, bro.
Man.
But they asked him about what people arguing about in the chat playing 7 guys, and he's like, was that the cause of whatever? And he's like, it's whatever you guys think it is. He got it for left.
Now, Sean, I will agree with you here. You said this series is being won by the Pacers solely because of the coaching matchup. I do think that Rick Carlisle is out coaching Tom Thibodeau. I won't argue with that at all. That doesn't mean you don't have a good coach. That just means you're getting out coached. Right? You have teams that can lose to a team 4 times in a row and then come and beat them in the playoffs. Right? And then the next year, you might lose to that team in the playoffs. Happens like that. I mean, you got to fire your coach. But yeah, Rick Carlisle is out coaching Tom Thibodeau in this playoff series. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? Anyway, Devon Ambitious said it's coaching heart and hustle. B-Ball, you said, how is Carlisle out coaching him? Utilizing his matchups better, for one. I think that's the biggest thing. Using different strategies at different points of the game. Like the hacker Mitch. Utilizing certain matchups at certain points of the game. I don't think the bench, I'm sorry, B-Baller, I know what you were trying to get at. I don't think the bench is necessarily out coaching. That's based on your resources. You understand? Everybody has different resources, and you utilize your resources the best way you can use your resources. You dig what I'm saying? When you talk about coaching, if you don't have the resources, then you use the resources you have. To me, he's out coaching him because of the strategies that he's using. Not necessarily because he has more resources at his in his hands. See, that could be my easy way. Say, he's got more resources. Of course he's winning. No. Of course he's out coaching because he has more resources. No. He does have more resources. But I think he's out coaching him beyond just having more resources. Right? Beyond that, through strategy, through game management, through time management. That's how I think he's out coaching him. Was you about to say something, Tony?
Mm-mm. No, I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to head up out of here. I appreciate your time. You know, I got a lot of things to do tomorrow, but I might jump on, you know, just to argue with a few of these people. You know what I mean? Josh.
Chris want to call in?
Josh. Have y'all ever seen, thank you for the super chat, Josh. Appreciate you. Have y'all ever seen Tibbs switch everything defensively for the entirety of a game? Usually in spurts, but the entire game, I don't know if that's a good sign.
I mean, the drop was that bad last game.
Last game, yeah. I mean, I think
and he did it once in the last series.
I think he's trying to figure out what works with them. So, like, they didn't drop. And actually, for most of the game, for a lot of the game, I didn't think it was a terrible idea to not drop on Halliburton. Talking about game 1. And the reason why I didn't think it was that bad of an idea is because if you're playing the percentages.
You're saying 2 drop on him?
Or 2 drop on him. If you're playing the percentages, he shoots about 33.9% from the three-point line. He came into the series shooting that way. And you wanted to control the boards, right? You don't want them to get, offensive rebounds. You know what I mean? You wanted them to control the board. You wanted to try to control the boards. So to try, let's try to drop and see what he's gonna do. If he's hitting them, then we, go a different way.
When he closes out, when he occupies the space, you know what I mean? So I hear you when he's shooting the 3, but when he steps in and he's making the mid range, then it becomes detriment.
Yeah, so he can drop, but if he does step in, then of course you should step up on him. They didn't drop today; they switched. Pascal Siakam got off. Right, there's a little bit more space for him to go to work. Because you don't have anybody dropped in the paint. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why, but that could be part of it. I think there's got to be a good mixture, and I think that's what Josh might be getting at too. There's got to be a good mixture of switching every time. Sometimes dropping. You got to mix it up. You can't
hedging.
Yeah. Got to be different things. Give them different defensive looks.
Because I think ideally, or actually maybe in game 4, that's what we did a lot of. It wasn't just switching; it was hedging and recovering.
Yeah. Somebody said this ain't even live. Huh? What you looking at then, bro?
He's trying to call in, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'm done with callers for the night. Because I'm about to get off the phone. Sorry, Chris. Hopefully we can get you to call in next time on next show. But I appreciate you, bro. Because I'm about to head off. So, next time,
keep tuning in, man. We're gonna let you come back, bro.
Yeah, jump in and get that call in next time. You know what I mean? Appreciate you though. Just benching the starters for a couple of minutes at the right time can send a huge message. Just saying, Lance. It's not all the starters. It's only, I don't know.
At this point, down 0-2.
I don't know what we're gonna do. We're just gonna win. We're just gonna win game 3. We winning it. Put it in the air. Let's put it in the air, man. We're gonna win game 3. Put pressure on them to game 4 and try to take game 4. Come back 2-2. That's the plan, baby. It's the plan.
They keep bringing in people I don't like. I don't like Halliburton. I don't like Siakam. I don't like McCollum. And I know he about to have one of his nights at some point.
Somewhere. Anyway.
But revenge. We need to even this up, man.
That's what I'm saying. The series ain't over. Series ain't over. Got a lot of fight left in us. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean, I appreciate you always. As much as you disagree with me, you never disrespect me. I appreciate you, and I'm never going to disrespect you either. Everybody else, everybody, for the most part, except for Greg, always got something, but everybody, we disagree, that's cool. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that no one ever really nobody disrespects me. They just disagree with me. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.